it's important not to lose sight of why we're playing football in the first place. Still more memories to be made. Long may it continue.
Kedwin Scott, 22 from Hexham. I'm going to sing Hold On, We're Going Home. I got my eyes on you. Endlessly, I over you. You left your mark on me. I want your heart, love, and emotion. Endlessly, 'cause you're a good girl and you know it. You act so different around me. Exactly who you could be. Just hold on.
Louis story. I am 27 years of age.
Wow.
Defender.
Good age.
Good age. From Newcastle. I'm a little bit nervous, so I'm going to put the bottle down. Okay. Today, the day that I'm going to throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. You're my wonderwall.
It is the return of football and, more importantly, the return of fans here at Gateshead International Stadium. And you'll probably be able to hear a few fans behind us as they're starting to get their vocal cords warmed up for what is their first competitive home game in over a year and a half.
Never take another game of football for granted ever again, do we? No, put it in front of fans as well. Really focus, boys, concentrate. All day to day we concentrate, yeah. So if we're not 100% individually and collectively as a team, we don't get the result we want to take. So it's up to us mentally to make sure we're 100% there.
It is going to be very strange for some of the players. Some of the players haven't even played in front of a crowd since being at Gateshead.
No, of course not. Of course, last season was very strange, wasn't it? No supporters here at all. And of course, some players who arrived during that time, as you say, didn't play in front of a crowd until now.
As fans are still coming into the ground, and I think it's going to be a good response when the players come out. And as I say that,
the noise is building up already.
It certainly is. Greg Olley leads the side out as captain for this season. The only thing that's left is for us to kick off and get this National League North season underway. And now we're underway here. Kedwin Scott, who's got time, cuts inside, gets a shot off, scores on his debut! Gets the ball back now, it's Macaulay Langstaff, gets a shot off, it's 2-0! Get a shot off himself, he's got another man to beat, goes for it, deflection, it's 3-0! Kedwin Scott!
Lovely being back at a football match, Dave, wasn't it? That's the first game I'd been to since Kings Lynn. It was just when I just walked in and I walked up into the stand and just was like, wow, I'm back. And the performance, first off, absolutely excellent.
My mum always says I picked a ball up as soon as I could walk. I never really had a team from the start. So when I was at like infant school, it was like a Newcastle coaching day. Apparently some of the coaches came away from that saying that I looked like I could kick a ball straight. So I got invited to go to the development centre at Newcastle. I think I must have been 6-year-old. And while I was there, I was playing with a few of the lads who'd obviously got chosen at that young age, and one of the parents had a Saturday league going, like a team going. So it's actually Leam Rangers in Gateshead that I played for when I was younger. So I used to travel there every Saturday, but that's how I really started playing football. Started the academy at 8 and got all the way till I was 19. I loved playing all the way through the academy, and then eventually got offered my scholarship when I was 16. So I left school and went straight into the big scholarship. Basically, it's I think it's what every kid dreams of. I was lucky enough to be chosen, which then was the start of like full-time football. 18, got offered a third-year scholar. Kind of took it with a pinch of salt. Like, could have been a professional, could have been getting released at this point, like many others did. At this point, I'd made my under-23s debut, but I'd never really felt anywhere near the first team. I mean, we used to train with them all the time, but I think the standard was so good at that point. I think there was like Kabai and Tiote, and these were all the midfielders that were playing at the time under Pardew. So I never felt more away from that first team. The next step would have been to go on loan, but by this point I'd been injured for about 4 months. So the inevitable getting released came around. We all arrived at the stadium on that specific day. Everyone was sat in the lobby at St James's, waiting for their turn to get called up. I think it was me, Jonathan Quinn, and then Ryan McKinnon were the 3 that got released that year. So it was like you took the lift up to the office where Peter Beardsley and Ben Dawson were at the time, and obviously they told me it was 50-50 whether I was going to get one. Came out on the wrong side, and I think I remember just keeping that brave face until I got to the car, and then I think the tears opened up. So I mean, it was tough. It's been my life for 11 years, so it's especially hard to take that it's such a big change and you don't know really what's around the corner. The pressure's coming from all angles. You've got yourself, which is the main one. Like, you've got to play well every week. You're going to be out of a job. Like, that was how I felt it was. You've got pressure coming from family and friends who are expecting you to be this great footballer that they'll hopefully tell all their friends about. Like I knew him, now he's playing there, and there's that pressure. And then obviously you've got the pressure from coaches and staff who are relying on you to stay in their own job. You've got to perform on the pitch for them. So there was a lot of pressure around the 17-18.
Two reminders of there, Gordon Banks with the green on.
The half sock.
Goalkeeper shoe.
What it is, these socks are so short.
Ankle socks you've got on.
That's as high as they go.
Even like that looks much better.
One down.
One on the left is definitely better to do again.
Can I hear my
3, 2, 1. Thank you.
There's a training in the camera, is it? Sorry. Thank you very much.
I had nothing. I left Hull, I was 22, I'm going to say. I had nothing in the pipeline at all. I had nothing to fall back on. I knew I wanted to stay in football, obviously. Again, on the off chance, I was just in the house one night. Peter Beardsley rang me, said, look, I know Steve Watson at Gateshead's going there for a trial for a week. I think I've always said to people who are not necessarily in football, it's who you know, not what you know. I'm very, very lucky that I had someone that I knew and was looking out for me at the time. So he got me into Gateshead, and we had a few days training. It was pre-season, and the first game was on the pitch against I think it was like an American like trial team, I think it was, and I ended up scoring a hat-trick, which I've never done since I must have been 11-year-old, and it probably won't have to happen again. Somehow managed to get offered a contract on the same day. It was like, from being so far apart, I think from having nothing and then 2 weeks later you signed the contract for someone, it can happen that quick in football, and you just got to take your chance when you get it.
But Greg Olley still got the ball, he scored! He carried on his run, he picked up the loose ball from in the middle of Osho's feet and he lashes it into the back of the net. Olley, and it's there! Greg Olley slid in and he put it into the back of the net. The Barnet defence was static on that one.
What we accomplished that year was quite remarkable, to be honest. Our first game at Maidenhead, we travelled on the day. I think we set off at maybe like 6:30 in the morning. I remember it being absolutely scorching as well. I think it was about 30 degrees that day. And obviously when I scored the famous cross, that was actually a chip. But I remember the first year just being one of my better years in football. I think we've always had a tight group here, but that year was especially tight.
Olley's on the ball and played it through. And Armstrong's one-on-one with the keeper. Can he score? He puts it through! Yeah! Luke Armstrong! He set the time and we are standing to absolute chaos. What a finish! Greg Olley did well there, put a beautiful ball through.
Everyone who was associated with Gateshead at that year knows how it just shattered through the team.
Olley whips the corner in there, and it's in! John Mellish with the goal! What a fantastic header! He found himself in acres of space when the corner come in, and he just put that into an empty net, and what a start for Gateshead. It's Gateshead 1, Ebbsfleet United 0. Hopefully he gets the opportunity to open up, but at this moment in time, another cross ball in there, and it went into the back of the net. The cross went in straight, there was no touch, I think it's off Weston, and that went straight into the corner of the net. It is Gateshead 1, Ebbsfleet United 1. A fair result, I would say.
That year was just crazy. We had literally 13 players, I think, every game, maybe 14 if we were lucky. And then obviously Clarkey came in, steadied the ship, and obviously everyone's got the utmost respect for him. So as players, we kind of wanted to win games for ourselves, for Ben. But then knowing that the people at the top weren't having the same expectations and putting the same amount of effort in, it does hurt a little bit. Obviously not getting paid, and then I think we did sit down a couple of times and just say, look, do we just not play and refuse, or do we just keep going on with it and stay as professional as possible? But it is hard knowing that you're doing your job and you're not going to get paid for it, and when you're going to get paid for it. But yeah, I'm glad that time ended pretty swiftly and everything's kind of moved on and we're in a better place for it. I had a couple of interest from other places that obviously did interest me at the time, because I didn't have at this point I didn't have a club. Obviously Gateshead had offered me a contract, so but I think the pull was always there. We'd had such a good season, and we kind of had done something special, and I think we owed I think probably the fans the most to try and get back into the National League. So no, as soon as the chance came again, I think once everything had settled down, I think I made the decision, obviously, to stay, and I don't regret that one bit. It is an honour to captain the club. The responsibility of being a captain comes with being vocal and kind of just being that not a mentor as such, but just more of a person that they can look to know what they're doing right. Not just being a captain, I am a different person on the football pitch. I think anyone who knows me off the pitch would know me as quite a calm, laid back person. But from even when I was a teenager, I was always so shy. I was calm, laid back, but most importantly, very, very shy. People always say, especially my mum, was like, you've got to come out your shell. And I don't think I did that until probably halfway through my time at Hull, which obviously helped coming into the Gateshead dressing room. We had a lot of personalities in that change room, good personalities, a lot of different ones, and I think that year that's my main change. I think from when I was younger, that really made me into the person that I am, and a bit more outgoing. Once I get on the pitch, everything that I do in football is to win. I hate losing, whether that's in training or what. I know a lot of people will tell you right now that I'm one of the biggest mourners. Even though I am the captain, I am a mourner. I think that's just who I am. I always want to win, and if we're not doing that, I'll tell people. The ending of that game was a bit of a mad one. I think we should have had a penalty, then obviously Luke gets sent off, and then we score I mean, they score an own goal in the 97th minute and we end up coming back up here with a point. It's like, I think the year before we'd have probably thought that was like the end of the world. It was like, but we knew that we'd outplayed them and everything on that day. But then the next week or 2 weeks later, we go down to Southport and we do the exact same again.
Be brave, get on that ball. Move the ball, enjoy it. Well done, boys, loads of energy, come on. We've got to get around each other, we've got to help each other out, come on.
Greg Olley, 11, Adam Campbell, 12, Daniel Ward, 14, Lewis Story, 19, Edwin Scott, 20,
You're looking at about 15 minutes left, 3-1 down. Their keeper's making saves left, right and centre. But I think on the pitch at that point, the feeling was that we'd score 1 or 2 goals. When you're 3-1 down and they were just sitting in, you kind of know that the pressure eventually will just pay off.
Go on.
They're the games that you kind of remember as footballers. I know the fans have gone home a lot happier. I still enjoy it as much to the day as I did when I first kicked the ball. So, I mean, the plan is, I think it's always changing. I'd like to think I've still got over 10 years left playing football. So again, that plan will change. I think one of the main carryovers is going into coaching. It's never been on my list of things to do. I don't think I've ever seen that as an enjoyable thing. I think I've always said from a young age, once I'd finished football, that was me done with football. I love the game. It's all I've known, and that might change again in the next 10 years. I have other things that I'm doing outside of football that keep my mind occupied, and like I'm doing bits and bobs for my cousin who has an app business, and we're building apps for people and websites, and that's what fills my time, and I'm quite happy doing that at the minute. But I can safely say now, like I love my football just as much as I did when I was younger, and hopefully that continues for a very long time.
Welcome to Gateshead versus Altrincham in the first round proper. It's the FA Cup. There's a bit of a buzz about the place, and anything can happen.
When the draw came out, it was my first thought was that it's going to be the sort of game where literally anything could happen. And these are two very good sides. I firmly believe Gateshead are as strong as a lot of clubs in the league that Altrincham are currently in. And I think this is just a great test for both sides.
issue with Altrincham as Macaulay Langstaff
Great
bends
run.
his run. He's
Great
onside, but he needs some support. He's on the right hand side of the box, tries to cut inside with it, gets it to Campbell. Campbell's first touch was good, shoots through a crowd. It's in! What a start to the second half! It was all through Macaulay Langstaff dragging with the ball, and Adam Campbell, his control on the edge of the box, and he aimed that one, placed it. It wasn't with power, and that was a fantastic bit of play by Gateshead. 10 yards from the left wing, and in it comes. Oh, and nearly touched it. It's in! I think that's went in direct from Greg Olley. It has. It just bounced through. It was so dangerous, and it curled at the end, and that is 2-0 to Gateshead. The youngster on loan from Stoke plays the ball over the top for Kisselo to try and get to. Brings the ball down well, gets to... Oh, lovely control there, and they've got a chance there. Fantastic goal. They really did open up Gateshead there. The ball over the top from Porter to Kisselo. Altrincham trying to push and get something out of this game as the ball's dinked up towards the box. It's going to land towards Altrincham player. It fell towards... Oh, and it's an equaliser! Gateshead just couldn't cope with the pressure. Altrincham celebrate. It was hooked into the back of the net, and Gateshead a little bit killed there of sitting deep and letting our ball come towards them, and it looks like this is going to be going to a replay.
You knowing that you're going to have to go down at Alty on a Tuesday night. But it wasn't all doom and gloom.
Ball played across to the far side. Can it be brought down? Bailey brings it down well. He needs some support, puts it through the middle for the run of... Oh, and gets past keeper, misses it! Dan Ward has the ball, he's trying to pass it through. Gives it... Well, he keeps a hold of the ball, gives it back to Olley. Gives the keeper enough chance to get back into. He's between the sticks. Now Olley drives forward with the ball, he's still going. Olley, can he finish it? He can! What a goal! Started by the captain and finished by the captain.
Confidence was sky high after that, knowing that if we turned it, we could beat anyone.
Over the last few weeks, we've all put in great performances, but Greg Olley there, I think, just needs just a little special mention, because that was a special goal, and could potentially start us off onto something very exciting.
I didn't see anything in that first game that led me to think that Gateshead should fear Altrincham. That's not to say it's not going to be a difficult game. I just didn't see anything they should fear.
After being 2-0 up in the first leg, it was kind of just go down there, play our football again. We can actually beat them.
The referee gets us underway here at Moor Lane. Colclough does well to get round Nicholson on this left-hand side, up towards the penalty area on the left, draws the challenge but gets the cross across. Hancock has an effort from the edge of the box, it's broken free, and Porter will have a left-footed effort as well, but it's over the crossbar. It's the closest either side have come, and it's the first Altrincham chance of the afternoon, of the evening. Cheltenham it is who are leading Gillingham, but there's an effort from Macaulay Langstaff that is a left-footed strike from maybe 25 yards out. It was quite central. He's forced a save out of Tony Thompson. It's the closest Gateshead have come. As the corner comes in towards the penalty spot, headed clear by Altrincham. Ward will pick it up on the far side of the box. He's got Campbell for company as well. He's forced right out towards the touchline, but he hooks it back in with his right foot towards the goalkeeper. He doesn't come and claim it. Gateshead take the lead. And it is an opening goal for Gateshead, 21 minutes on the clock. They're playing very well and they're by far the better team. They haven't really created an awful lot. They've had a couple of shots from outside the box.
Not yet.
Oh, Chapman's miscontrolled it completely. Pearce will square it and Hancock has the easiest of goals. And Altrincham have an equaliser out of absolutely nothing. Jacob Chapman went to clear it. It was meant as a side-footed pass.
First half an hour we were very much on top and very much the better team. I think after that we kind of composed ourselves again after half time. And it was just go out there, do it again in the second half.
Gateshead in possession, but the ball forward is not the most accurate, but it's won back really cleverly by Alex Nicholson, who comes in from the right hand side, finds Greg Olley, flicks it out to this left hand side to Matty Jacob halfway into the Altrincham half, up towards Dan Ward. His left footed effort is a brilliant one! And that is Gateshead's second goal of the evening.
What a finish that was. The 72 fans are going wild with that goal there. 2-1 to Gateshead.
Pretty sure it's going to be Dan Mooney to hit this one. Mooney high over the crossbar and out over the top of the stand behind the goal.
We'll not see that ball back.
Nope.
It's been a treat to watch, I tell you, tonight.
Back in possession inside the Gateshead half. Mooney is in behind here, right hand side of the goal, cuts back on his left foot, fires it through Chapman, and it's an Altrincham equaliser for the second time this evening. Dan Mooney, the substitute, has given them their second equaliser. He found space on the right hand side of the penalty area, got in behind Matty Jacob, cut back on his left foot from the edge of it for the corner of the section.
The extra time is kind of playing on your mind. But I think at that point I thought we could have a chance of winning the game.
Just waiting as we enter the final 60 seconds of the second 45.
Could have done better there, Greg Olley. He could have done a lot better with that. He's just lashed it across the face of the goal, hasn't he?
Story wins the header on the halfway line. It's flicked on by Mike Williamson, who hasn't come back yet. On the space, Langstaff, edge of the penalty area to win it. He does! Macaulay Langstaff gets his second, and it's Gateshead 3, Altrincham 2. Still got 3 minutes of injury time, but they've got 1 foot in the second round of the FA Cup. They've got 1 foot in that tie with Charlton Athletic at the International Stadium. The referee blows the final whistle. And Gateshead have made it through. They've done it the hard way. They were ahead twice. They were pegged back twice. But they win by 3 goals to 2. Altrincham 2, Gateshead 3.
It was just a bit of ecstasy. Celebrate with everyone and obviously going over to the fans. It was just such a momentous occasion for the club. I suppose the FA Cup's still kind of alive. You don't see that as a player, what's happening in the stands and what's the process of getting to a game, the travel there, the expense, the atmosphere before a game. You kind of missed out on that as a player. Just don't forget why you're doing it. It's important not to lose sight of why we're playing football in the first place. You should be proud to know that fans want to turn up every week and watch it. It's just like kind of a privilege to have been a part of it, and knowing that that memory will now last forever, and still more memories to be made hopefully, and long may it continue.